Okay. Okay.
Okay. Um, up to today, we the input and output of program is we using printf and a scanf. Okay, so we use these two functions a lot. And today I'm going to introduce a concept called I/O stream. And when we use printf, we print a message or information um, to to the standard output, which is your computer screen. And when you're using scanf, you're using a standard input, which is your keyboard. Now, I/O stream is an interface between your program and the file. What is file? Okay, and I think most of you know what is file. File is when you open file management window, then you can see various file, and the a file name is contain a file name and a sub file name. Okay, so in your program you can have an interface between file and within your program. And the function we are going to use is called fprintf and fscanf. Okay, so the second F is format. The second F is format. Just like the function we used to use, printf and scanf. The first F it represent file. Represent file. Okay. So in an I/O stream, which the first I means input. The second character O means output. Okay, so in your file you can input something and also output something, and it is through the concept of so-called I/O stream. So what we can do about this I/O stream is we have to use two library function. One is called fopen, okay, and the other is called fclose. Okay, these two functions is very important, and in fopen, we should get then two string as an argument. The first string is the file name. File name. Also slash directory path. Okay, path and the file name. Okay, file name. This is the first string. Let's see example later. Okay, and the second string we can accept three kind of string. Okay, the first one is R. R means read. The second one is W, means write. Okay, the third one means A. The third one is A. A means append. Okay, now fopen function will return a so-called file pointer. File pointer. And a file pointer is defined by a structure that defined by a C compiler or defined by C is FILE. Okay, and this capital FILE is defined in the library stdio.h. Okay, so you need this header file to be included in your program. Okay, and capital FILE means a file. You can call it a structure or object or whatever. With file, then you put a star FP, and then FP is you can see it as FP is available. Or we normally call it file pointer. Okay? You cannot comprehend this kind of statement fully. It's similar to when you define an integer pointer. You should type int start pi. So pi is a variable, okay? And it's an integer pointer. So you can understand int star pi. You should be able to understand what does it mean by capital file star fp. So this fp is a variable name. You can call anything you want, okay? As long as you remember the name, as long as you know what you are going to do with this fp, okay? Now, fopen will return a file pointer, okay, a address for a file, okay? So fopen, let's see an example. I define a file pointer by star fp. So fp is a file pointer. This is very important. You should define this file pointer. You should define this fp as a file pointer as a variable. Then fp is fopen equal to fopen. As I mentioned, fopen includes two arguments. The first argument is a file name, okay? And the second argument is what you are going to do with this file, okay? Now, supposedly we are going to read this file, okay? Read this file. We put a small r here. It means, as I just mentioned, a small r means we are going to read this file. What do we mean by read this file? is we specify this file as an input to our program. Now, before I proceed, I have to mention, once you open a file, then after you're done with this file, you should close this file. So you should close FP. And this FP is matching with this LP here. This kind of a parallel statement. This statement open a file from which is external to our program. It's a file under operation system. And this statement is to close the connection between the file and your program. Okay? So you have to remember this kind of pairing, these two function call. It's very important. Okay? FP open, FP close. I cannot emphasize this, the importance between F open and F close, because computer is very smart and try to be very efficient. So between this statement, okay, you can when you are, you can get data from this file. And normally, operating system will not get a small amount of data from this file. Normally, they get a block, a chunk, okay, a page of information into memory. Okay, so we can call it as a buffer. Okay, because the access to the disk, okay, this file is reside in the hard disk, okay, in the external device. So each time I want to get a number, we go to get it. Okay, it takes some time to do this kind of thing. So normally the compiler, in order to increase the efficiency, they normally get a bunch, a big chunk of data into memory, and then get one by one when you using scanf. Okay? Now, scanf, just like scanf. Okay, the only difference is we have a F before scanf. And with this scanf, a scanf, you have a format, okay? Percentage D and blah, 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 whatever. And ampersand I, blah, 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 whatever. And fscanf and the scanf, the only difference is with fscanf, we have a file point as the first argument, and then we have a string, and then we have the pointer for variable. Okay, what I want to emphasize is fscanf is adding a file pointer. Okay, and the rest of the stuff is the same as scanf. Okay, so the only difference is with fscanf, you need an extra argument called file pointer. Now, this file pointer will do this fscanf will do the similar job as scanf. Scanf get information from keyboard, but fscanf get information from a file. Normally, it's a text file. Okay, it's a text file. Now, let's see a very. Before we see an example, let me finish this fscanf. One more thing I should mention about fscanf is when you get stuck from a text file, maybe we call it capital A txt. This is a text file, and this inside will contain a lot of information. And normally we using fscanf, we just get a line of information, and the second time we get the second line, and third time we get a third line, and eventually you will come to the end of this text file. Okay, we call it end, which is here. We get 1 by 9, 9 by 9, and finally, we will come to the end of the file, a file, okay, a.text file, which means we cannot get any more information, okay? When this kind of situation happens, fscanf will return a value, okay, which is very important. It will return a value called EOF, which this EOF is represent end of file. And this capital EOF is defined in stdio.h. Okay, it's defined in here. So you can just use it. You use EOF directory. Okay. Now let's see an example. Before we proceed, we make a text file. Okay. Now for simple illustration, we are in here. We create a text file, new 文字文件. Okay, so the subfile name, okay, 副档名 is txt, represent text. Okay, and then we name it as a capital A. Okay, a.txt. And when we double click a.txt, we come to 记事本. This is also a program. And in this 记事本, we can put in, say, Robert. Okay? And the first exam, he got 100 point. Grade is 100. And the second exam is 95. And the third exam is 90 because the course is getting harder and harder, so it's difficult to maintain 100. And then Joe, okay, and Joe is going the other way, okay. The first time you only barely make it, okay, got 60, and the second time making progress, okay, got 75. And the third exam, you got perfect 100, okay? Then Jenny, okay? Always maintain her course, her pace, okay? So the first time you got 85, and the second time is 90, and the third time is 85, okay? So the variation is kind of small, okay? A.txt tst, we contain 3 lines of information here. Now, we can save it, okay? Say this a.txt. Now, in our program, what we are going to do is, we are going to open this text file called a.txt. Now, we should what? We should declare a file pointer, capital FILE star FP. If you don't like FP, you can call it whatever you like. Normally I call it FP. Okay? You can change the name you want, maybe LPP, however, okay? Or you prefer AAA, okay? Both are fine, okay? Then the first thing you need to do is to open a file. Fopen, okay? Fopen, okay? And the file name is a.txt. And you are going to open as a read more, okay? What we mean by read more is we are going to get something from the a.txt. Now, as I mentioned, fopen will return a file pointer, okay, an address for a pointer. So we can use AAA. It's kind of weird. Maybe AFP, file pointer, okay? File pointer, okay? Now, I emphasize just now is that when you open the file, you need to close the file, okay? So we call fclose AFP. So in here we open a.txt, and the file a.txt is using the file point called AFP, and here we close AFP. It means we are not going to have anything to do with a.txt anymore. We just close the file, okay? So be remember, when you open, you should end with close, okay? It's very important. Now, between here, what we can do is fscan, AFP, and the first one is a student's name, so we use a percentage S, and the second one is the grade for first exam, and the second integer is the grade for second exam, and the third integer, okay? So what we can do is we define a character array called student name, and maybe we give it to 100 characters, and then we have a 3 grade, okay? So maybe we use in an array called grade, okay? 3. So integer array with size of 3. We are going to have grade 0, grade 1, and grade 2. Okay? Now, fscan, we do student name. Okay? When we percentage S, we just put in the character array's name. Okay? When we need to put in integer, we need an address of grade 0, right? Okay, so this is it, and the second grade, which is grade 1, and the third grade, which is grade 2. Okay, now it's kind of low. We separate into 2 9. Okay. Okay. Now semicolon here. Right? We put in to many parentheses, right? Okay. Now let's go back to printf. We see it before, right? We use printf many times. What it does is just print out stuff to the screen. So we just print out the screen. And the format we use is the same here. Okay? It's go to the screen, okay? The standard output. And we print this guy. Let's print this guy. But we should modify. We don't need address in printf. We need the actual variable, right? Okay? No. So let's just run it, okay? With these 2 simple functions. One is to use fscanf, get the information from a.txt, and then print out to the screen. Okay? Now we rebuild. And we execute. So we only get 1 line of the information, rubber 100, 95, 90, okay? And probably forgot print this /n here. Okay? And we run it. Now what I'm going to demonstrate here is we only got 1 line of the a.txt. We only got 1 line because we only got the information on the first line, because we only execute fscanf 1 time only. We only execute this statement 1 time. So we only got 1 line of the information. And this line is nothing. You guys use this printf many times, okay? Now supposedly we only do these 2 things. We only got 1 line and then we close. We kind of premature or close this file because we are not done with this file. a.txt have 3 lines of information. Right now, in the current version of this program, we only got 1 line, okay, with this statement. Supposedly, we want to get all 3 lines. What we can do is we using this guy. We copy these 2 statements 3 times, okay, into 3 times, okay, copy twice. Okay, so we have 3 fscanf, printf, fscanf, printf, fscanf, printf. Okay, and in here we kind of use the variable of student name. Okay, which is a character array, and a grade is an integer array. Okay, now this fscanf will fill in the data into these two array. Now the second time we call fscanf, we will refill these two data structure, okay? And the third time we refill again. And once we have a new information, we just print it out. So let's rebuild this in the wrong way. So we got all three information. Now, here we assume we know the number of 9 in a.txt. We have 3 9, so we call fscanf 3 times. 1, 2, and 3, and then close. Okay, so we got all 3 9 by calling fscanf 3 times. But the problem is with real-time application, we don't know the number of 9 in the text file. In this example, okay, we have 3 9. In our program, we can write fscanf 3 times. But the next time, maybe we have 4 students in the class. So we are going to add one more pen, okay? Okay? One more student. So what you're going to do now? Come back to change the program? No, definitely not. We should not do something this stupid, right? This class we got 95 students, and the next another courses we got 70 students, and another course got 62 students. And each time we have a different number of students. We have to come back to change our program, and the way we do this is kind of stupid, right? So, as I mentioned, what we can use is this EOF thing, okay? fscanf, once it come to the end of the file here, it got no more, fscanf will return EOF. So EOF is kind of important. Each time we check, we call fscanf, we check if fscanf returns EOF, okay, end of file. If we got end of file, we should stop fscanf. We should stop reading stuff. We should stop reading information from the text file. So how we do it? Okay, let's say this version first. Say this stupid version first. Okay. We call it EX16-01A. No. So we should know, we should use EOF now. So how we use EOF? This 9 is that we should keep, and F close we should keep. Okay? Now, what we are going to use is called file fscanf. Okay? Put in the expression inside the while condition. Okay? And this part, this big bracket, okay, is to do each time we get something from the text file a.txt. While fscanf, okay, this is a function. We put inside the condition, okay, of file statement. Now, fscanf does not return EOF. It means we got something meaningful from fscanf and put into student name, grade 0, grade 1, grade 2, okay? As long as fscanf not equal to EOF, we will print this for stuff, okay? Something weird. Why we have a now we missing one parenthesis here, okay? So you do this way. Okay, before we continue, I must remind you in next week's final exam, we definitely will have a question regarding to file. Okay, what I just talking about right now. Okay, so as long as not equal to EOF, we get student name, grade 0 and grade 1 and grade 2, and then we print this information. Maybe we'll do something more. We'll do a little bit of calculation. Is compute, say we would like to compute the average grade of these 3 exams. Okay, so, but for exam, average, okay, we better use floating point variable. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, maybe we declare a new variable called average. Okay, now the average is computed from average is equal to double. Okay, or we can do a small for loop inside. Maybe we do a for loop inside. For, okay, I talked about this micro definition last week. Is this for? Now, 4 and I and 3. Okay, so each iteration will plus double grade I. Okay. Now, and outside this 4, because for this 4th statement, just remind you guys, this macro definition of capital 4 will be pre-processed by the preprocessor and expanding into 4, I equal to 0, I less than 3, and I plus plus. Okay, so this line will be changed by preprocessor into this line. Okay, so in the 4th statement we have only one statement, so we don't need a big bracket. Okay, then average is divided by and assigned to 3.0. Okay, because we have 3 grade. Okay, we have 3 grade, so we have to divide by 3. So here we're using this variable average to sum up all grade, and here we divide it into 3, divided by 3. Okay, now here we print average. Now average is we use percentage F because average is a double data type. Okay? Now, so that's it. We don't need to type this fprintf 3 times to get straight information. Okay? This kind of programming will depends on how many lines in your text file. If you have a 4 line, you will do this while loop 4 times. You have a 3 line, you will do this while loop, okay, 3 times. You have 2 line, you will do it 2 times, okay? Because you will check whether or not the end of file is encountered, okay? So, and the regular average is being used without being initialized, okay? So, it's kind of terrible mistake we make here. We should reset average before we come into the for loop to 0. So, build. And now, Robert, 195, 90, average 95, okay? Joe, average 78.333, okay? Ben, average 73.333, okay? So, when we have a 4 line, we got 4 line of information. So supposedly, let's say this first. EX16 dash 01D. Okay. Now we go to here. We modify the a.txt Ben John 60 90 100. Okay, maybe we should have a press or return. Maybe we'll do their return. Okay, one return. Save. Now we have a 5 student. We have a 5 line of the information here. So this program, we do what? We do 5 line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So this is important to check. To put fscanf inside the condition of while statement. Okay? Now, in here, we are going to do another thing. Is we can open a file as a read mode or input mode. Now we can declare another file point. We can put it here. We call it BFP. Okay? And also a file point, so we need a star here. Okay, both AFP and BFP are file point. Now, we are going to open another file called BFP is equal to fopen. Now we open as b.txt. Okay? Now, we want to open it by mode W. Okay? Now, what we mean by W, it means write. Okay? It means output. Okay? What I mean by read, it means read. What I mean by R, it means read. it mean input. So input output is the standing point is the program. Okay, so from outside in go to the inside of the program, we call it input. You stand in the program, when stop, go out to the program, go out to external text file, we call it output. Okay, so everything your standing point is the program. Now, BFPF is a file point which is direct to a file name called b.txt in under the operation system. Okay. Now we see in this directory we don't have a b.txt. B.txt does not exist in our operation system yet. So when we open the BFP, we should also have fclose BFP. Okay? After we're done with b.txt, once we don't need b.txt anymore, we call fclose. Okay? Now, we are going to change this printf. Printf is, I mentioned, is a function. Writing stuff, put something on the standard output, which is the screen. But right now, I'm going to put stuff into a file called b.txt. So we call fprintf. Did we mention fprintf? No. We have used printf before, right? The first argument is a string, which defines a format, and then you can print the variable okay, etc. But when you have a fprintf, okay, fprintf, this f means format, right? And this f means file. So the first argument of fprintf is a file pointer. Okay? And the rest of stuff is the same as printf. They are the same. Okay? So one extra thing is the file pointer for fprintf. And printf puts stuff on the screen. And fprintf puts stuff into the file pointer, the text file pointer point to. Okay? So in this example, BFP point to b.txt. So in here, fprintf, okay? The first argument is BFP, which is a file pointer, okay? And this file pointer point to which point under operation system is b.txt. And we open it as a write mode, okay? Write mode, okay? This word, mode. Okay, this is read mode. Okay, so open as a write means we are going to put something into this b.txt, and put what? Put this. We used to put on the screen. Now we are going to put into b.txt, and at the end we fclose BFP. Now rebuild it. Okay, so take a look at the directory. We don't have a capital B dot txt. Now we are going to execute this program. We run it. Now, on our screen, we got no information regarding to students. Okay, we only got 请按任意键继续, right? We don't have anything from printf. We change the printf into fprintf. So let's see. This is the directory we saw before. This is the directory we see before execute the program. Now we have a b.txt. When we use fprintf, this information is go to the screen. But now we go to bfp, go to the file pointed by bft, and this file is called capital B.txt, and it will be b.txt will be created by our program. Okay, this file will be created, and the content will be generated by fprintf. Okay, so now student might ask, fprintf and printf, can we only choose one? The answer is no. We can do both, right? We can do both. We can print the same stuff on the screen and also to the file b.txt. The only thing is we change fprintf into printf, and we take off the file point. Okay, so this statement will print this information on the standard output, which is the screen. And this will print stuff to b.txt. Please look out. Right now, we have the b.txt look like this, okay? Now, when we execute this program again, we are going to open b.txt again, and we are going to print stuff, print data to b.txt again. So when we open something with a wmod, we will erase all the stuff written to the file previously, okay? So let's see. We run this again. So we see on this screen, okay? And also we have a b.txt and the same, okay? Because we do both, okay? One to the screen, one to b.txt. And we can do it again. Some guy may say, this b.txt is created by previous execution. Now we delete the b.txt. Now we run it again. So we see the stuff on the screen. And also, we generate b.txt again, and with the same stuff. So let's take 10-minute break, okay?